Good evening, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. It's Monday night. My name's Phil. We're here for the next 30 minutes. We're live every Monday. So much to talk about as ever, being a Leicester City fan. I told you last Monday, it is going to be a roller coaster ride. Lots of Leicester fans already betting on how many points we're going to get this season, break the title, get the most goals ever. You've got to keep it real. We all know, being Leicester City, this ain't going to be easy. Do you want to talk about the Leeds game? Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about the Middlesbrough game? It's your show, the next 29 minutes. Anything you guys want to talk about, you write the script. I'll just react to it. Get your views in, get your comments in live in this week's Monday Night Fanzone show.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, and the Foxes, Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, welcome to the show. Thanks, Reedy, for those new titles. They look excellent. Get your views in, get your comments in. Don't forget, you can follow us right here at Leicester Fan TV, wherever you are. But don't forget, tonight's show, as ever, is all about your comments. Reedy says red top. Yeah, I'm feeling like a red top sort of mood tonight, I must admit, Mark. Thank you for that. Bit of retro. You know I love the red. Get your views in, get your comments in. Richie says, good evening, Phil. I got the prediction wrong against Leeds United. A lot of us were going for a 2-2, Richie. You were wrong. It went exactly how we feared in the back of our minds it could go, Richie, didn't it? None of us wanted to say we could lose, but I think we all knew it was going to be tough. A lot of people were saying a 2-2 draw. It didn't happen. Get a look at those stats. What do you want to say about it? A lot of possession, a lot of passes. I tell you one stat, one shot on target in the 93rd minute. That was it. I'm not allowed to say the words Plan B. Shh, I never said it. We're not allowed to say Plan B. So unless you want to talk about it, I'm not going to mention it. Although I just did, but I'm not going to. Anyway, morning was never going to be easy, but we're not going to be playing teams of Leeds quality week in, week out. Not this season, we're not. But if we go up, we are. So you've got to be prepared. Leeds, you know, they're probably pretty good for the Championship. But we're running away with it, or we were, so have the wheels fell off a little bit. Andy Medhurst says, Phil, we need another striker. Well, Tom Cannon's coming back, isn't he? He didn't want to, could he have chucked Patson Daka on for the last couple of minutes? Did you guys tell me, did we just keep playing the same ball, the same passing? Did we take a short corner in injury time when we're 1-0 down at home? Did we take a short corner? Yes, we did. You guys, I'm not allowed to say it. Let's mix it up. Plan B, whatever. John O'Tower says, nice new intro. Thank you for that. Well done to Reedy for getting that done. Sean says, if we lose one game in 10, I'll take that all day long. Absolutely right. I 100% agree with what Sean says. Middlesbrough away on Saturday, though, Sean. Not going to be easy. Let's hope it's 1 in 10 and that Sunday doesn't turn it into 2. Don't want to have that. Don't want to be called a doom and gloom merchant, but, you know, I've tried to keep it real all the time this season. Michael Smith, good evening, Michael. Thanks for your comment. Says, not many shots on target. One shot on target. Apparently, Fatawa's shot against the crossbar doesn't count as a shot on target. Well, I suppose it wasn't because it didn't go in, so therefore that's not target if you hit the post or the crossbar. But one on target, that was Kinnan Dewsbury Hall's in the 93rd minute. If I was to look at the stats, I think we had something like 700 passes. I think we had 70% possession. But a little question, and I have talked about this season, what's the point in having 700 passes if you don't shoot on target? I'd rather have 30 passes and get a shot on target. Hey, not allowed to talk about hoofing it up. Not allowed to talk about that, am I? Keep getting your views in. I'm going to try and get as many comments on screen as possible in there. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Tez says here, only a matter of time before top coaches worked us out. Tez, did Leeds work us out? I don't think it's been too hard. I think we play. We know how we play. it's not too hard. It's that's passing around the football at the back. I've got to note, by the way, that some of the incidents, some of Leeds' chances did come from us playing to pass it out from the back and us losing possession in there, which was interesting. Jono, absolute swear word right there. You are not allowed to say those words at the end anyway. Jono says Leeds game was a big disappointment. Yes, absolutely. But if we go to Borough on Saturday, John, if we go to Borough on Saturday and pick up a point or 3, we can soon move on. It's if we don't go to Borough and pick up that 1 or 3 points, if we were to lose 2 on the spin, suddenly, it does look like a shame. Unfortunately, the best team won. I think I'd have to agree with you there, Mick. I think Leeds did look the better team. If you're watching this and you saw, obviously, the game, being honest, were Leeds a better team on the night? Did Leeds want it more? Get your views and get your comments in. We haven't been the same without Ndidi, says Mick in there. Gav says bring on Tom Cannon, getting in there. Bubba says Locke said it was done and dusted. We've played poorly at QPR and then no goals at home. Bubba, you know me. I'm a massive Leicester fan, a massive optimist at times, but I have been saying all season that, and I'll stick by this. I'll stick by, because I put my neck out there, and you can watch the videos back. I have said that this possession football, and I'm being deadly honest. What is the difference sometimes, big style, between Enzo ball and Brendan ball? It's a lot of possession, a lot of passing, a lot of being patient, not a lot of chances. There was times where we seemed to get somewhere near the penalty box, and rather than have a go or pop it in, and people tell me off, you're not allowed to say put it in the mixer and do all that. It's about creating. But one shot on target in 93 minutes when you've had 700 passes, it's interesting. Craig said, "Where's Plan C?" You're not. That's another swear word. Kevin says, would have been a different result if Ndidi was fit. Maybe, Kevin. Again, everybody's entitled to their opinions. Maybe Kevin's right there. Do you agree with him in there? Andrew says, wingers got the ball out, but nobody in the box, so had to pass backwards in there. Fatawa seemed to have a very good first half. And then it was a bit like second half with Fatawa. Did somebody tell him to stop taking on their defenders? Was that what's happened, Andy? I don't know. It didn't seem as much in there. Mark said, we need a loss to make us better. We've been riding some luck in some games, help us become more consistent. So Mark's saying a loss makes us more consistent. I sort of understand where you're going, Mark, but I'm not quite sure it was. It would have been great to get a result before the break. Well, the break's not there yet. We've got Borough on Saturday, unless I'm going all crazy. We are away at Middlesbrough, aren't we, on Saturday? Matt says here, do you agree with Matt's views? Matt Shepherd says, teams are starting to work us out. If you get at us, we're average. Not a criticism, just my view. Matt, that's fine. Honestly, it's as if we can't criticise the team this year. I think we can. We can say we've just lost. I've seen us lose. We lost at home against Hull. We've lost at home against Leeds. The rest has been. The results have been great. The performances. I think we have been lucky in some of those games. We've got the result, which is all that matters. But when the result doesn't come, we are going to look at that performance and way of playing as well. I thought it suits us better when teams do come and have a go, because when teams just park the bus, that is hard. Carlos, good evening, Carlos. Thanks for watching. Says, love the two wingers. Mavadidi and Fatawa look good. They certainly do, Carlos. I think you're right. At times, they certainly do. Kevin says, are we passing too much in games? I feel we are overpassing it at times. But anyway, Kevin goes on to say there's being conservative with the ball, but possession doesn't win games. Goals win games. And to get a goal, you have to shoot on target. And we had one shot on target in a home game where we had, and you'll have to forgive me, I don't know the exact possession stat. I could probably look it up and find it. I'm going to type it while we're, look at this, live, trying to find the stats out while watching it in there. If anybody's got it, do let us know what the exact stats were. But shots on target, I'm looking at some stats now. Shots on targets, Leeds had 6, Leicester had 1. Shots in total, Leeds had 11 and Leicester had 10, so we had a lot more off. Leeds only had 34% possession. And listen, this is the interesting stat. Leeds had 360 passes and created 11 shots with 6 on target. Leicester had 693 passes and only created 1 shot on target. That's some of the interesting stuff that I find in here. And when it works, it's great. But when you don't win, when you lose, and you go, well, yeah, if we only had 1 shot on target, what do we expect? Ian, the Super Fox, says, we need to sort out this losing at home quickly, but get back to winning games at away games. Jono says we need to reset and go again. We've been scraping through the last few games. Enzo failed at his first big challenge. I agree that Rodgers and Enzo are too far apart, or they're not too far apart. Jono, please clarify that. People will get. I have to be careful what I say, because some people. This Enzo ball is like it's as if it's magic. I'm only saying what I see, which is what is the massive difference between Enzo ball and Rodgers ball. And I'm going to go back and say Puel ball. That it's all about retaining the ball a lot, high levels of possession, playing out from the back, which is great. That's how many teams are doing it now. I'm happy with that. Where I get frustrated, as you all know, is when you're losing 1-0 to go, 1-0 with 5-10 minutes to go. Should we be taking a short corner? I don't get a short corner in injury time when you're 1-0 down at home. I don't get that. If somebody wants to explain why you do that and you don't, I'm old school, pop it in the mixer and put the big centre halves up there. Yannick Vestergaard, Pies, get them in there, because you're going to create a chance. If you put the ball in the box where there's players, you will create chances. Why take a short corner? Answers in the comments below. Now, tell me, why did we take that short corner? Dom says, can you say happy birthday to my mate, Kurt Hemmings, big Leicester fan? Dom, no, I can't say that. Happy birthday anyway, Kurt. Kasady looked out of place. He's in and out, Andy, isn't he, Kasady? He's in and out. I was singing his praises the other day. He played really well against, was it Sunderland at home? And then it's like he's youngish and he's learning his craft. I would like to see him come back. Craig says we'll bounce back at Middlesbrough, as I think we play better away. I do hear what you're saying there, Craig, in there. Robert says a lot of extra passes and not enough attempts on goal, and also look like we have heavy legs in the second half, says Robert. Do you agree with what Robert is saying there? Charlie, hope you're well, says toothless up front again. Could he have put Patson Daka on? Could he have put Patson Daka on Saturday, or on Friday night it was, sorry, not Saturday. He made 2 subs on Friday. 2 subs. Nacho and Hamza came on. So he did have on the bench Cody or Brighton, Suter, Daka, McAteer, Marcel, and Jacob, the keeper. Could he have mixed it up? Could he have brought Mark Albrighton on? Could he have brought Patson Daka on? Could he have brought Casey McAteer on? I don't know. Plan B doesn't have to be stick Suter up top like we used to with Steve Walsh. I know those days have gone, but hey, you could try it for 5 minutes when you're losing, but you could have put Patson Daka on. I'm not his biggest fan, as you well know, but it's different in there. Nick says here, the difference between Enzo and Rodgers is the belief the players have in the manager's methods and the belief in themselves. Nick, that's very well said, sir. Thank you. Very good. Matty says we did miss Wilf big time in there. Terry says, how about when we have a position, have a corner, we don't leave anyone forward? Yes, when we're defending one, it's an interesting one. We've talked about that many times before, Terry. I'm not sure why we do that. Andy says, couldn't we try 2 up front for a change? That sounding like a plan B, Andy, and we're not allowed to say those words. Andy Young says ref was awful, not an excuse. Just listen, Andy. We all moan about the refs in the Premier League. The refs in the Championship are literally a big step backwards down. We're going to have this. And luckily, there's no VAR, or else if there was VAR in the Championship, they'd be spending half the game just rechecking what the refs are doing. You just got to put up with the fact that the refs are the refs. Jono says, plan B, can't we go 2 up top? Apparently not. So, no, we can't, Jono. It doesn't happen. First 10, 15 minutes, Leeds were all over us. They could easily have been a goal or 2 up, Gareth, in that first 10 minutes. We did well to weather that storm and sort of come back into it. But Leeds, I thought Leeds were the better team. You know, that's my opinion. Do you agree with that? Put in the comments who you thought were the better team over the 96 minutes overall. Who looked the more likely to win? I think Leeds probably deserved the win. Do you agree or not? Do you think we were unlucky not to get the draw? Obviously, Kieran Dewsbury Hall's header right in injury time, the first attempt actually on the target. We were unlucky. It was a great save, but I think they had plenty of other chances. I know Fatawa scored hit the crossbar as well. Daniel says, I worry for us if Winks get injured. I think we all do, Daniel, a bit. He pulls all the strings in our midfield in there. Kevin, I agree. Plan B should be a change of formation with an extra striker. The false nine doesn't work when you're getting pressured. For me, I said this many times before. Plan B is just trying something slightly different with 7 minutes to go. We had not 6 or 7 minutes of injury time. You know, at the 88th minute, when you're 1-0 down, I think you go, right, let's mix it up. And nobody yet, by the way, nobody's put in the comments, as far as I can see, why we took a short corner in injury time. I'm really, really interested if it's just me who thinks that that's not how you should play football, or what you want to see as fans. If you just want to see short corners in injury time when you're 1-0 down, that's fine. Pop it in the comments. Let me know. Was I wrong, or what do you think in there? Craig says Leeds wanted the win more. Do you agree with Craig in there? Matty Bond says he was impressed with Leeds. Yeah, I think Leeds were hungry, and they're on, you know, they're on a good run. Now, before we keep going with your comments in there, we've got about 13, 14 minutes left to go. Thank you to everybody. I can see on my screen how many people have liked and shared this on Facebook. That is so kind. But there's not many of you. Come on, give us a like and a share. This is the bit where I do a bit of begging. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Keep getting those comments in and follow us at Leicester Fan TV where you are watching. Tez says, hate to say it, but it was Leeds. Gareth says Leeds were a better team, and I was there. The Leeds fans were loud too. We knew Leeds were going to be loud. Bob says Leeds were better. Tom has told me I'm not allowed to talk about Plan B. He said, just accept it. There is no Plan B. And Tom, I've spent a lot of tonight talking about it. Every time we're losing, especially at home, and we don't mix it up, try something. You know, Tom, why didn't I don't think Daka's good enough, but I'd have still given him, I'd have mixed him on and gone 2 up top. I'd have perhaps put, there's nothing ruling out putting Connor Cody up for the last couple of minutes for that corner in injury time. Mix the ball up, get it in there. One shot on target. I'm struggling to moan because we have had a fantastic start to the season. But again, I'm going to ask you guys a question here. Listen, that was Leeds United, a championship side, a team who got relegated from the Premier League like us last year. They are a championship side. They are third. They are still 11 points behind us. They are not a Premier League side. If we were to come up, we all want us to get promoted. But at the moment, and we're a work in progress, I understand that. But if we were to play teams in the Premier League, they'll be better than Leeds. So not only do we need to have a great season in the Championship, we do need to get some of these issues ironed out for the Premier League, hopefully, that we'll go in there. Simon says, on the plus side, the Remembrance display was second to none in the league. Thank you to that, Simon. It always has been. You've got to remember, Simon, I think, I know you'll know, Leicester started all the Remembrance service stuff off years and years ago. So I don't think any other club does it as well as Leicester City. It was always, and obviously I know why we don't deliver the ball by helicopter anymore into the stadium. We all know why. But we've just always done these bits so well. So a fantastic display. Well done to everybody at the club who pulled that together. As ever, a fantastic moment inside the ground for everybody. And we'll all be supporting Remembrance services this Sunday around Leicestershire. I know all the local clubs will be doing the minute silence before kickoffs. Ben says here, that free kick we had right at the end, James Justin taking it, hits it straight out of play. What's he doing on them? Don't know, Ben. It's a good point. It's a good thing. The councillor evening. That's it, councillor. Any more comments? Just evening. Evening all. I always think you should be a policeman, the councillor. Evening. Something I should do the evening. Perhaps somebody else can have that one. Patrick says Poppy display was decent. Thanks, Patrick. Plan B was a pop band, says Richie. Come out with the gags here tonight, Richie. I hope you're well. You're feeling ill last week, Richie, so hopefully you're better. You see, I've remembered that you were poorly. Hopefully you're good again in there. I'd love, Matt Shepherd. Oh, to have Leonardo Ulloa ready to come off the bench. Somebody, again. Just football sometimes isn't rocket science, is it? Just to have somebody like a Leonardo Ulloa waiting to come on. That would have been so nice. Just plan B. I said it again. I'm not meant to say it. Leeds edged it. Too many of our players had average games. Can't win them all in this league. You certainly can't. Tom says if plan A does not work, keep doing plan A. That's Tom's being serious. That is Tom's logic. That Tom is, and many fans are saying this is the Enzo way. We keep doing it. You keep going, and it will happen. And many times this season, he's already proved it does happen. But it doesn't seem sensible, Tom. If plan A does not work, just keep doing plan A. I don't get it. Try McAteer as a number 9. He could have come on. He could have come on for 10 minutes. He's got 5 goals earlier this season. Could McAteer have not come on into the mix? You know, was that not an option? Obviously, Nacho came on for Vardy. Hamza came on for Casade. But we got Connor Cody, Mark Albrighton, Harry Souttar, Pat Sandaka, McAteer and Marcel on the bench. So some players like Albrighton, McAteer, Daka, Marcel could have had an impact. Could have thrown Connor Cody or Souttar on for 5 minutes up top and just tried something. But anyway. Patrick says Luton and Sheffield United are better than Leeds, lol. Well, they are, Patrick. You're right. I don't know if you're being facetious there or not, but they are. They are better than Leeds because they're in the Premier League. That's how the league system works. No chance we don't beat Borough. We are massive away from home. Councillor, sir, you're sticking your neck on the line? You're coming back on next Monday, I hope, to say I told you. There's no chance we don't beat them. So I'm looking forward to that. Please join us there. Ben says, my fear, if we go up, we'll be doing exactly what Burnley are doing right now, playing well but not taking their chances and getting murdered on the counter against much better opposition. Again, it's difficult. I know, Ben, I talked about next season. It's difficult. We've got to get through this season first in there. Glad you're feeling better, Richie. That's really good. Ray says here, wish we had stronger home form. Need to take the KP, or need to make the King Power a fortress in there. Ben says here, bringing on a defensive midfielder at 1-0 down was Roger-esque. Okay, you guys are watching this. You saw the match. He brings Hamza Chowdhury on for Casade. Ben says that is the same sort of thing that Brendan Rodgers did. Do you agree with Ben or not? Let me know in the comments. I've got to be honest, it kind of is. And this is what I've said to you. I'm all for Enzo ball, yada, yada, yada. I don't see massive amounts of difference at times. Imran, thank you. Good to speak to you, Imran. Hope you're well. We need to bounce back against Borough. Leeds were slightly better on Friday. Yes, they were. It was slightly, but I think they were better. John Tower says, is Cannon the Ulloa for 2023? Let's hope so. Let's hope he comes back and is fit and does well in there. Tom comes back, says 13 wins out of 15 is plan A. I get that, Tom. I totally get it. I totally get that. It's been a great start to the season. With 5 minutes to go in any game when you're losing, I think I would try something different in there. Terry says Nacho was playing so deep, it's ridiculous in there. Mark says it's amazing we lose one game by 1 goal and there's bitching like little girls. It's a long way to the end of the season. Mark, and again, I said this at the start. I think you're totally right. We have 113. We are doing super, super well. But I think we are allowed to chat about things when it doesn't work right. We are allowed to have a little chat and go, what could we have done that was better? Because we're all here to learn and grow over the season. But I totally get it. We will judge this at the end of the season. But if we don't judge and debate things as we go on, if I was Mark, if we're down the pub and had a pint, we'd be having the same chat, wouldn't we? and enjoying it, because that's why we love football, because we love to chat about it. Imran says, what do you think about all our home games? We don't seem to take the game to the opposition. We're not intense enough. It affects the atmosphere, especially at the King Power. It is tricky, Imran, because you have to be patient. Like we're all being told, be patient. A lot of passing, a lot of possession. Be patient. I saw Mavadini at some point, like trying to raise the crowd up, but sometimes when you're in the ground, and again, I'm only being honest from my point of view. You can comment. Anybody watching can comment. There is times when you've seen, and you have to remember that on Friday's game, you witnessed 693 passes for Leicester compared to 360 for Leeds. When you're watching that much passing, sometimes it takes the edge of the thrill away from the game, in my opinion. In there, Keith says Coddle Haddock. Phil, I don't mind either. Both expensive nowadays. Keith, it's a fish cake for me, mate. How about yourself? Let us know. Enzo Ball slowly bumbling into Brendan Ball. The players do believe. I hope it doesn't go stale. Let's keep it upbeat, Jono. Let's keep it upbeat. Great tackle by Hamza. Says the councillor, could have changed the game, that tackle in there. Foxes on YouTube says we did better when Casady went off. You see, Tom saying plan A. That's not that is at least tweaking it. Bring Hamza on and push Ricardo forward. I agree. It's trying to take the game to them a little bit in there. Patrick says push Ricky B forward and Hamza dropped in. So it's trying. I get that. I get what you're saying, but it's subtle. And that's how things go. Daniel says the pace of the Premier League is ridiculous compared to the Championship. I think Enzo's style would get seriously pulled apart in the Premier League. We'll hopefully find that out next year, Daniel, when we're back in there. Let's see what we think. Daniel says, I thought Ricky P had his best game for about 2 seasons on Friday. Do you agree with what Daniel says in there? Matty says, Leeds and Leicester will both go up automatically, no doubt. I think Ipswich might have a word with you on that, Matty, seeing as if they win their game in hand, they're very, very close to us. Matty goes on to say, saying that, massive improvement needed or we will get slaughtered in the Premier League, sort of going in there. Somehow we've got onto fish cakes, fish, haddock, cod. John O'Towers is saying a fish finger sandwich for me with brown sauce on a fish finger sandwich. It's got to be salad cream, mate. A bit of mayo. The salad cream. Fish finger sandwich, what would you have? Tomato sauce, brown sauce, tartar sauce for those of us who are a bit posh, mayo or salad cream? For me, salad cream all day long. Anyway, Imran says, we had 1 shot on target against Leeds. We are at home. To get the crowd going, we need to make the opposition keeper make some saves. It just gets the crowd going a little bit more in there. Nobody enjoyed it more than me with 13% of the ball and Drinky dropped in the channels for Vardy to chase. We haven't got a fully fit Vardy. The team's played differently now. Mark is talking about, obviously, when we were back winning the league. We counter-attacking football. I think some games we literally used to win games with 23, 24% possession. The only stats that matter is how many times you get it in their goal. More times than them. Matty says Ipswich will drop off. That's interesting. Everybody, you remember the season we won the Premier League? Everybody was saying that about us. Leicester will drop off. They'll never do it. I've got no reason to see why Ipswich will drop off. I think they've got a very tight squad. They're playing for each other. I think Ipswich are in it for the long run. But we'll see, Matty, won't we? We'll see in there. Is trying something different a plan B, especially when moving a layer further up the field? They've been playing. P.S. Cod is overfished. How the hell did we get to this? How did we get on to fish, chips, fish cake in there? But talking of that, Gav says salad cream. He's with me on it, absolutely in it. But Jono says brown sauce with everything. No, anyway. Nick says not sure about the shirt colour. You're a bit like the florist. Bit of red. I like a bit of Leicester in red. It's been used many times. I certainly prefer it to that. No, that's a no. It's a no. Still bought it, like we all do, but still bought it. Play Ipswich or play Leeds 23rd in December. Ipswich play Leeds on the 23rd and us on the 26th. Yeah, 2 massive games for them. It will be interesting to see where they are up in there. Daniel says hope Cannon gets a game soon. Be interesting to see how he goes. Joanna, good evening, Joanna says, enjoying being back in the Championship so far. Yeah, I'm not. Some scrappy football, more robust challenges and harder tackles. No VAR, do like that. So we're able to celebrate goals properly. And there's been better Wi-Fi. You get Wi-Fi at the King Power, Joanna? I don't get any Wi-Fi in there or anything. Don't get any signal. So anyway, James Clark says, next game is massive and going to be tough. Now, talking that is Middlesbrough on Saturday. We've got this week, we've got Reedy and Sam will be doing a match tactics show. So make sure you tune in for that when that happens. Locks will be doing the Foxes show. I keep forgetting what he's called it now. Foxes. It's not the Foxes Fanzone. It's every Thursday. Locks. He does a show. It was Championship chat. He scrapped that idea. It's now 100% focused on Leicester City. So join Locks on Thursdays with that as well. Andrew getting the last couple of comments in there. Tartar sauce with fish and chips. So we now know that Andy Medhurst is quite posh. That's fine. In there. Robert says Ipswich will definitely drop games later part of the season. We'll see, Robert. They said that about Leicester when we went on to win the Premier League, won't we? Let's keep getting your views in, keep getting your comments in. Don't forget, we can't do Leicester Fan TV without all your views, your comments. So I really, really always appreciate the fact that you bother to come and have a chat with me. Love it, love it, love it. I'll be back next Monday. We'll be hopefully talking about a nice point or draw away at Borough. We haven't gone to score predictions. I'm sure if you join Locks on Thursday, you can get into that. So for me, to you guys, thanks so much for watching. It's been great to have you here. I'll see you next Monday.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit leicesterfantv.com for all the latest news, views and videos.